On the 3rd January 2025, the US Department of the Treasury released the final rules for the Section 45B Clean Hydrogen Production Tax Credit, established by the Inflation Reduction Act. The final rules become effective on the 10th January 2025. In this video, we are diving into a general overview of the US Clean Hydrogen Production Tax Credit under the Inflation Reduction Act and explore the main rules of this tax credit, how it works, what are tax credit values, and how calculated. What is the Clean Hydrogen Production Tax Credit? The Inflation Reduction Act enacted a new tax credit for the production of clean hydrogen, also known as the 45B credit. This tax credit incentivizes hydrogen production, reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The main goal is to reduce the cost difference between conventional hydrogen production and low-emission methods, helping hydrogen industry grow faster and become more cost competitive. How does this tax credit actually work? It is based on the life cycle greenhouse gas emissions from the hydrogen production processes. The less CO2 emissions you have, the higher tax credit you get. To qualify for the clean hydrogen production credit, you need to produce hydrogen at a qualified facility. This means that the facility must be owned by the taxpayer. The construction of the facility shall begin before 2033, and it must produce qualified clean hydrogen. Next criteria is to produce hydrogen with a life cycle emission rate of less than 4 kilograms of CO2 emissions per kilogram of hydrogen. Anything above that and you won't qualify. And the last criteria to comply with prevailing wage and apprenticeship requirement. To satisfy the wage requirements, laborers must be paid wages at or above the prevailing wage as determined by the Secretary of Labor of workers performing similar work in the same location. Once you qualify, you can earn tax credits based on how much clean hydrogen you produce and the emission rates associated with the production. But there's more to it. What are the tax credit values? The maximum tax credit can go up to $3 per kilogram of clean hydrogen produced. But, and this is important, the amount you get depends on the greenhouse gas emissions, adjusted annually for inflation. Here is the breakdown. Full credit of $3 per kilogram of clean hydrogen if the emissions rate is below 0.45 kilograms of CO2 emissions per kilogram of hydrogen. $1 per kilogram if the emissions rate is between 0.45 and 1.5 kilograms. 0.75 cents per kilogram of hydrogen if the emissions rate is between 1.5 and 2.5 kilogram, and 0.60 cents per kilogram if the emissions rate is between 1.5 and 4 kilograms of CO2 emissions. So the better your emissions, the higher the credit. It's designed to encourage clean hydrogen producers to produce hydrogen with reduced carbon footprint. Now you are probably wondering, how do you calculate these credits? The key is to figure out the life cycle greenhouse gas emissions from the production process. This is calculated on the basis of well-to-gate approach. That means greenhouse gas emission calculations to the point of production. The emissions are calculated using the GRID model. That's the greenhouse gases, regulated emissions and energy use in transportation model, developed by Ergon National Laboratory. The model helps producers estimate emissions and determine eligibility for the credit. Producers will use the updated 45B H2 grid model for calculating their credit, which will be released by the Department of Energy. You can find this model on their website for all the details and to ensure you're using the latest version. So there you have it. The Section 45B Clean Hydrogen Production Tax Credit is the major step forward in incentivizing clean hydrogen production in the US. It's designed to lower emissions, reduce costs, and accelerate the hydrogen industry. If you are in the hydrogen production business, this credit could significantly impact your projects. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.